Good, let's look now at some transformations of power functions. So here we have the general, you could say, vertex form of a power function. We know that A is responsible for vertical stretch or compression. K is responsible for a horizontal stretch or compression. D for a horizontal shift, either left or right. And C for a vertical shift, either up or down. And N, of course, N indicates the degree of the polynomial function. Now, each of these have an effect on the respective parent function. And let's look at some examples. I strongly suggest you visit Desmos to check out how each of these affect the function. Okay, so now let's look at the first example. Example 1 says the graph of y equals x cubed is transformed to obtain the graph of y equals negative 3 open square bracket 2 open parentheses x plus 1 close parentheses close square bracket to the power of 3 plus 5. So A says state the parameters and describe the corresponding transformations of each. So let's start stating the parameters of each. So in reference to this formula, let's start collecting the parameters. And we can say that A is equal to negative 3 for the transformed function. We know that K is equal to the number 2. D is equal to negative 1. So we know that here D, right, is moving the function to the left by 1 unit. So that's why D is equal to negative 1. And C is equal to 5, so it moves up 5 units, right? Once again, for D as negative 1, even though it says positive here, it becomes positive because of this negative here, so that's why D has to be negative 1. Okay, so now we just stated the parameters, and now let's start describing the transformations of each of these. So we can say that the function has been stretched vertically by a factor of 3. It has also been reflected on, there's a reflection on the x-axis because it's negative, so we can start describing that. Also because of K, we know that this function has been, the parent function has been compressed horizontally by a factor of 1 over 2. It has also shifted 1 unit to the left, and horizontally, of course, and has shifted 5 units up. So let's start writing these down. Alright, so that's basically what we've done. We've stated the parameters and described what the effect of each of these parameters does on the function. So once again, vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Reflection on the x-axis, yeah, by the way, I was writing the wrong one, shift off, but it's actually vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Reflection on the x-axis, horizontal compression by a factor of 1 over k, or in this case 1 over 2. Horizontal shift of 1 unit to the left, and a vertical shift of 5 units up. Now you also have to answer questions B and C. I'll leave that up to you. And if you have any questions, let me know.